This episode was brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. I'm Marley Oxenholm from Pentester Academy TV, and welcome to our show, Access Point, where we spotlight cybersecurity companies and give an inside look at the people and technology behind the latest advancements in the industry. All right, I am joined today by Ravi Khatod, who is the CEO at the company Agari. Ravi, thank you so much for joining me today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marley, for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you on. I got a lot of great questions. So you ready to get started?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. First question then. How did Agari get started? What is the company's founding story?
So Agari is started by folks from Ironport, one of the leading email security companies over a decade ago, and now the backbone for a lot of the Cisco security technology stack. And what we learned 10 years ago is that email security was really stopping spam. A lot of the spammers would send out large volume. We remember the Nigerian prince scam and the fake Rolex spam and things like that. And the goal really was to keep those unwanted spam messages out of the inbox. A funny thing happened along the way. Attackers figured out that email is the number one app. Everybody uses it. We use it to communicate internally, use it to communicate with our customers, use it to communicate with our business partners. And it could become a very effective attack vector. Now, in order to be effective, what the attackers figured out is that they could, instead of going for large volumes of spam, that they could very uniquely target and take advantage of trust that we, as human beings, tend to have, that they could then infiltrate and get attacks into the inbox. And these attacks become ransomware. We've heard about that. These attacks become phishing, where people accidentally put in their credentials, what happened in our election cycle the last time, or they're just straight wire fraud. And what's incredible for me to understand, and an opportunity for us, and why we're so excited to help solve this problem, these attacks are 50 times, they've caused 50 times more financial losses than ransomware. So these are really, the attackers have really figured out how to bypass what was supposed to be good content detection, very low volume, under the radar, I call it, and get effectively into the inbox and wreak havoc. It's the number one cyber problem, full period stop. And Agari's mission is to solve for that.
Absolutely, I agree. And it seems like it's been happening at such a more rapid pace lately, now more than usual, I would say.
Well, the attackers have figured out something that works. The genie's not going in the bottle. What we have to do as an industry is figure out how they're attacking and stop those attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And so now, what would you say would be the elevator pitch for Agari?
We bring trust back to the email channel. Trust is critical. We see what happened to Facebook when they lost trust with their customers, right? So trust is a double-edged sword. When you have trust, you can build a great enterprise business, one that's digital first, and everybody wants to move towards more and more of a digital economy, whether you're an employee or a customer. By the same token, attackers have figured out if they can impersonate trust, if they can present themselves to be PayPal, but not really PayPal, and ask for your password reset, if they can present themselves as HR, asking for information to make sure that you get your payroll on time, these are effective ways of impersonating trust. Our mission statement is to bring trust back to the email channel. Email is the number one communication tool for both interbusiness and across business and consumer conversations, and we want to bring trust back to that. And we have a very, very, very simple goal. Marley, ours is to say to all of your users, your customers, your supply chain, and your employees, if it's in the inbox, trust it. Open it, click on it, trust it.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's crazy. It only seems to take just a little bit of social engineering nowadays to know what people like and what their buttons are to really just get them to click on malware, essentially.
That's right.
Absolutely. And so now I'm wondering, how would you say that Agari is different from its competitors out there?
Well, it's interesting. We're very different. And we understood from 10 years ago that anything that tries to look for an indicator of being bad. So think the TSA, I've got to know what the bad person looks like in order to stop them. The problem that's happened is the attackers have figured that out. So they present something that's never been seen before.
Right.
You cannot stop what we call a 0 day. It's mathematically impossible to detect something that's never been seen before. So what if you could turn the tables back on the attacker and said, you are sending me a link that says you're DocuSign, but we know DocuSign. We understand exactly their sending models and their domains. This is not DocuSign. And I use the example, the world is, the attackers have figured out how to hide. And what we've done is we've modeled and we understand what good looks like. And therefore, anything that's not modeled to be good, we assume to be bad. And it's a very, very difficult problem for the attackers to solve for, because they effectively have to go and demonstrate that they're good for months, if not years, before they can try and do something that would be nefarious. I call it the sleeper cell. And most criminals are financially motivated.
True.
Economic conversations, an economic decision. So if they see that an Agari customer is well defended and unlikely for anyone to click on an impersonation attack or a digital deception, they're going to go to the next home and try and attack that business. And so for us, we definitely want to stop these attackers, but we're also working with our customers to substantially change the economics for the attacker.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And now, speaking of customers, I was wondering what your customer base mainly looks like and what is their use case?
Sure. We have customers across every vertical, across every side. We have customers with 2 employees, and our largest customer is 200,000 employees.
Wow.
We have 6 of the top 10 banks. We've got some of the largest federal agencies. We have some of the largest technology companies, many that are the most trusted brands and most valued brands in the world. And there's one common theme. So while they're different size businesses, they're different verticals. Again, the common theme here is that they use email, and they want to let their employees use email in a productive fashion, and not to constantly look at an email and wonder, is it really a suspicious email or not? But by the same token, they also want to make sure that their customers trust a 401k statement. They trust a payroll statement, that they trust a health insurance statement. And we have many of our customers, large global organizations, where they may have 4,000 or 5,000 global suppliers. Let me give you an example of an airline that we work with. The airline came to us and said, we don't know how to stop these attacks on our employees. We do security training, but attacks get in and they get clicked on. One. Number 2, we have 4,000 global suppliers, and we are worried about vendor fraud and invoice fraud. And we have 1.3 million platinum customers that have mileage accounts with us. And we really want to pause and protect all of them. And because we're not going to not stop using email, and the attackers are not going to stop trying to attack us. So can we present a defense that fundamentally changes the equation and makes us far less attractive as a target for the attacker? And we've done that for them.
Absolutely. I agree. At that point, it's just too much work, and you would think that they would move on. So yeah, that's the goal. And so now I'm wondering, how do you think the threat landscape has evolved over the past few years, in your opinion?
I think more and more folks are, a lot of the new companies that are coming out are really borrowing a chapter from our playbook, and it's effective, which means that I have at my disposal now substantial compute resources and ability to start to really understand the larger internet landscape and not just a particular customer. So from that, I could start to model what are good actors and what are bad actors. We're seeing that in other spaces as well. And it really is the combination of artificial intelligence and machine learning meets big data. And from that, you could start to say, hey, we don't know who's knocking at the door, but it's not a Girl Scout. And they're not.
Fair enough.
We've modeled the entire neighborhood, and we've modeled the Girl Scouts, and that's not a Girl Scout at your front door.
Yep, absolutely. And now I'm curious, what about in regards to email security? How has that changed, in your opinion, over the past few years as well?
There's a couple of things. It's a really good question. Email security is important, and email security is really 2 things. They all have one common, which is keep it out of the inbox. Keep the bad stuff. Now, there's unwanted spam, things like that, and then there's stuff that's highly malicious and leads to significant losses. The industry's done a pretty darn good job of keeping spam out of the inbox. And today, especially as I move to the cloud, if I were to build a new business, I would start with Gmail or with Office 365. Those already come with fairly good spam controls. For example, your personal account, I don't think you pay for spam, right?
No.
We've seen that happen now in the enterprise, SMB, mid-market, and quite frankly, even some large customers are saying, I get for free when I purchase the inbox, the cloud inbox, pretty good spam controls. What I'm still though need is an advanced control to stop the really malicious bad attacks. And that's where Agari is very uniquely positioned.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because a lot of them will detect the spam very well, but they'll still manage to get in if they're good enough.
Mm-hmm. And the
So now,
figured it out.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so now I'm wondering what exactly is working to stop all these attacks?
Sure. Again, the big thing is modeling, right? And really understanding when something doesn't look right. And that's what we do. We know how to spot spam. That's the easy part. It's that really malicious actor that knows if I send something to the executive on Friday at 3 o'clock, and they're probably on a device, right, a mobile device, and it is socially engineered, and I know the admin, and this is what's going to work. And as we mentioned, in 2015 is when we really saw the rise of these attacks. They're ninefold. And again, last year's Verizon, which is kind of what everybody looks at, the Verizon cybersecurity report said that 95% of all successful breaches of the enterprise started with this type of attack, an email-based spear phishing attack. So what we are doing is not just important, but it's really bringing trust back to the most used communication medium, which is email. And we're bringing trust back by modeling at scale. If you look at Agari, we see close to 8 to 10 billion email messages a day, almost 3 to 4 billion inboxes. And from that, we can really start to understand what does good behavior look like. And then we can start to spot a deviation of behavior and say, gosh, that's not DocuSign. And yet that person's asking you to click on a link that looks like DocuSign, but it's not DocuSign. And that's an actual case that about 6 months ago, we helped protect our customers from an attack where the attacker impersonated DocuSign, and that attack was able to successfully get by all of the leading email security gateways, and Agari stopped it.
Wow, very nice. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so now, lastly, are there any last things that you'd like to highlight about the company?
We're having a lot of fun.
Nice.
We were just named as one of the best places to work in the Bay Area.
Congrats.
And thank you. Well, it's really the team. We're passionate about solving this problem. We love the feedback from our customers. We had a customer council recently, and it was really neat, Marley. We didn't put it on. Our customers organized the agenda. They organized the speakers. It was fantastic. So
nice.
we really feel like even though it's a very, very, very large market, it's really a small community of security professionals. And we're just excited to be a part of it and solve one of the biggest problems our customers have, and they come to us. And again, for our customers, we never talk about the fear of email. We talk about bringing trust back to digital channels so that when they go talk to their boardroom and their board, they get to say, let's continue our journey down to become more and more digital-centric, engage our customers, engage our partners, engage our employees. We'll maintain security and trust in the most important channels. So
wonderful. That sounds great.
Yeah, we'd like to think that we're helping to enable businesses to do business without worry of the security issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said before, what are you going to do? You can't get rid of emails. It's a vital part of our, office and day-to-day life. So we just have to figure out the best solution. And you guys have seemed like you're leading the way in that. So it's very exciting.
Yep.
Ravi, thank you so much for sitting down and speaking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And there were great questions. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll see you next time and take care.
Okay, you too.
Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of the latest cybersecurity news. This episode is brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.